Ladies, gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Please be advised that this movie has no nudity.
I'm out.
Come on, Annie. Let's go to the movies.
Yeah. I just have to wee-wee.
And we're back.
Just like the Five Musketeers.
What the hell am I looking at?
A country where culture means pornography and slasher films.
If you had these boobs, you'd be obsessed with them too.
Very exciting, big event. Everybody's excited, huh?
We hope you'll make this a weekly visit. Bring the family. Bring your friends.
We're Cinemadness podcast.
This is how we're going to do Fletch Lives.
The time was 2022.
That was the time?
No, it's quite literally 2022.
2022.
Hot dogs! Get your hot dogs here.
Number nine.
Red Hots! Get your Red Hots. Keep on talking in the quiz show on Tuesday nights. Everyone has to leave by 9 o'clock 'cause it's a Tuesday night. I gotta go to work tomorrow. I gotta record my shows. On Tuesday night.
Those are my favorite lyrics.
There's the opening.
And on that note, welcome back to the Cinemadness podcast. My name is Adam. I'm here with Roman singing a song about Tuesday nights.
The Bay City Rollers.
Heed! Turn off the Bay City Rollers!
Of course.
I am also here with Alison, who is just shaking her head at everything that we do.
Kill me now.
Welcome back to... And we are continuing our coverage of the Fletch cinematic universe.
Is it a cinematic universe?
With the final movie in the Fletch duality.
The final movie, like there are multiple, but final, like, there's 5 of them.
I was trying to make it sound more epic than it actually is. We are doing Fletch Lives from 1989. I was 9-10 years old about that time.
It was 4 years later?
Yep.
Wow. He didn't look like he aged a bit.
That's movie magic.
I mean, his forehead got bigger.
Yeah.
And Leon's getting larger.
Who's Leon?
It's from
an airplane joke.
God, we gotta stop hanging out. Seriously.
Airplane jokes.
One of these days, you'll come to the dark side.
No, I won't.
So, Fletch Lives, 1989. Directed once again by the late Michael Ritchie. Not many changes except for the cast. It stars Chevy Chase, this time with Arlie Ermey, Hal Holbrook, Cleavon Little, and Julianne Phillips. Fantastic cast. Fantastic classic cast in this movie. Cleavon Little from Blazing Saddles. Wonderful. And Arlie Ermey from...
Of course, Full Metal Jacket.
Full Metal Jacket, yes. The famed comedy.
And Willard.
Oh, yeah.
And
that
Willard.
guy.
And
Wait a minute.
Toy Story.
Wait a minute. Pause.
Allison's having an epiphany.
Isn't the guy from Full Metal Jacket the guy from the remake of Texas Chainsaw Massacre?
Yes, he is. High five.
I don't like Full Metal Jacket, but that was the Jessica Biel Texas Chainsaw Massacre, and he was the dirty sheriff.
Right, which they also made a prequel based on his character. It was what was it called? Texas Chainsaw the Beginning?
Yes.
I don't know if I saw that.
It was actually pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it.
It's how they started, how the Sawyer family became cannibals.
Got it. But we're not here to talk about cannibals.
We are not. We are not talking here.
Sorry,
to talk
I'm
about
sorry.
Texas
We're not
Chainsaw.
talking about the dead. We're talking about lives. We're talking about Fletch Lives.
So that didn't work out well at all.
No, not at all. But I'm just going to keep on rolling with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fletch Lives did not come without its taglines.
Oh.
Oh, how long are these?
There's 2 of them and one. No, there's only one of them.
Uh-oh. And it's the whole synopsis.
No, it's very short. I just wrote a paragraph underneath
Tupelo,
it.
Mississippi.
There is one tagline, and it is, "When there's more trouble than one man can handle, there's more than one man for the job."
Okay.
I mean, it's better than the first movie, but I don't know.
Well, that's just my whole thing about Fletch Lives.
We never did the taglines for the first movie, but
Yes, we did.
We tried.
oh yeah, we tried. We failed.
Yeah. Let's see.
This one is he's back, and so are his teeth.
In a new field of play.
How about Fletch Lives? Hallelujah.
Oh, there. Oh, jeez. Okay. Fletch Lives. No, I got nothing. Sorry. I was hoping.
Fletch. They should have called it Fletch Resurrected.
Like, I
Because
don't.
of the Bible.
Because of the Bible.
Okay, so I'm assuming we may go into this. Why wasn't named Fletch Lives? Because he was never dead. He was never...
Right, but he was supposed to die. Like, he was the target of a murder, and he lived.
Yeah.
That's how I took it. He lives to tell another tale.
Plus, that's kind of how the books were. It was Fletch something.
Okay. I'm just thinking like Ernest, like the Ernest movies. It's like Fletch goes to jail.
Oh, not too long ago, the creator and director of all the Ernest movies died. He passed away.
Fletch goes to camp. That would have been funny.
No.
Oh, yeah. Fletch Saves Christmas.
Yeah. No.
You know what roles would you like Chevy Chase's Fletch in? Like I can see him like in a Nightmare on Elm Street or a Friday the 13th film. I think that would be interesting.
They would just leave him because he would just talk their ear off.
No.
Oh, could you imagine Fletch in a Saw movie?
Oh my God.
I'd like to play a game with you. What was your name again?
Jack me off.
I'd like to play a game with you, Jack. That's not your real name. No, it is.
Damn it!
It's actually Rosen Penis.
Thank you. I couldn't remember.
Yeah, like Jigsaw would just start getting really mad. He would be like, "Forget it.
Just shut up!
Those aren't your real teeth."
I've seen you before. I know I've seen you before. I read
your article. I read your article.
You go by Jane Doe, don't you?
Only on weekends when I'm lonely.
Yeah, why did he go by Jane Doe, not John Doe? He thought more people would like listening to a female.
It's just a funny name, Jane Doe.
I mean, so it's John Doe.
Because everybody out there, they listen to Ann Landers.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Jane Doe is better than her brother Dill.
Wow. Everybody. Oh no, she laughed. So nobody drink.
It was so bad.
This movie once again was distributed by Vincent Pictures and produced by Universal.
Good old Vincent Pictures.
This movie was not based off of a book. This was an original story. Gregory MacDonald helped, but it was written more by the original writer of the movie itself.
What color folder was this produced in?
That is privileged information that I was not allowed to have.
Okay. They trusted him. They're like, the first one was so good.
$58 million.
You just go ahead and write this. We don't even need it based on a book.
Yeah.
We trust you.
Can you just have Chevy Chase like telling dirty jokes? Good.
Chevy, not Chubby.
We got a movie.
All right. So, I almost died. Ladies and gentlemen, I almost passed into the other life, but Adam lives.
You must be allergic to the awesomeness.
Quick synopsis of the movie. Starting off already undercover, the movie begins with Fletch disguised as a maid investigating an organized crime ring in a Greek restaurant.
Housekeeping.
Opa!
And he gets caught by a horny old man.
You want to earn $50 the hard way?
Oh, boy. And he has to escape with his life so he can print his story.
Or his dignity.
I didn't like how this movie started, and we don't know what happened to Gail. Like, they broke up?
Yeah, it's
And
called Negotiations.
I mean, he's a player, clearly,
apparently,
but
yeah.
it just kind of bothered me.
Yeah, it's called contract negotiations.
Yeah.
She never.
But the two movies just don't go together at all. They're completely separate movies.
Right. They're like novels. They're like
the only
novels.
the only thing that I think is the same, not the same, but the only thing that ties them both together, aside from what he does, is the his boss, the main guy.
His boss, Larry's back. Gina Davis is back.
Barely.
Yeah, and Gillette, where he gets his name.
Gillette.
Now, if I can interject real quick.
You can interject anytime.
Well, thank you. Thank you very much. No, this is another thing that bothers me in films, because today I was having lunch with my wife and kid, and they had Bad Boys 1 on, and Tia Leone's in it. And I remember remarking, I'm like, you know what ticks me off is the fact that Tia Leone is the love interest of this film with Will Smith's character. Mm-hmm. And you kind of have this moment where you bond, and then when the second one comes out, she's not in it.
To be found.
And it ticks me off, and I'm like, I can't stand that, because you as the audience member are invested into that, so now you're associated with that.
You have their life that you've lived with them.
Can you imagine Princess Leia in the first one, then the second one, it's like, where's Leia?
Who's this Amidala chick?
Yeah, it's like, man, well, Indiana Jones is another one where it's like...
Oh, yeah. Yeah, but again,
new
he's
girl
like
every
a player.
time. Yeah.
She's like a Fletch.
But they did it well in Men in Black. Men in Black 2, when they just like Agent L, she kind of went crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
she wanted to go back to the morgue.
Yeah.
And they at least gave her a courtesy of writing her off, whereas other ones...
Because nobody wants to work with Linda Fiorentino.
Yeah, what happened to her?
I've heard she's terrible. When she made Dogma, Kevin Smith said that was the worst person that he's ever had to have act, and he worked with Shannon Doherty.
Oh, well, she should work
I was
with
about
Chevy.
I was about to say that was before he worked with Bruce Willis.
That's true.
In Cop Out.
Yeah.
Because I remember him just reacting horribly to that.
He's apologized for that now that the whole disease thing is...
We forgive him now.
Yeah. But let's go back to Fletch Lives. The next day he gets
of cop movies, yes.
The next day he gets a call about inheriting a mansion in Louisiana from his dead aunt.
Wait, yeehaw. Sorry, Zataran.
There you go.
That's what I meant.
That's the stereotype we're looking for.
Aw.
He decides to take time away from work. In fact, he says he quits.
Yep.
I'm out of here.
Yes, just like that.
I love his police tape that just has Velcro that he just sticks on his shirt every time he leaves.
I love him in The Office where he gooses that guy and points at the other dude. He gooses his boss.
Yeah,
He's like, whoop! He did it.
Yeah, but you're right. He's like, I quit. No, you don't. No, I quit.
He's like, why do you quit? I don't know why I made him like that. Because he's kind of Jewish.
He looks a little Jewish. You know who he reminds me of is the ghost in Ghost that taught him how to jump on the train.
Oh, the creepy looking guy.
Mine.
Doesn't he kind of look
I
like
don't
that?
remember his name. He recently passed away in the early 2000s.
He was also in...
he was in Ridgemont High.
No.
Yes,
Death to
he
Smoochie.
switched to Sanka.
Yes, he was in Death to Smoochie.
Yeah.
Please be
I
nice.
never
I
got
switched
to see
Sanka.
Paris.
Yeah, he just reminds me of him.
He's a character actor. He was in lots of things.
Yeah.
And he was in Buckaroo Banzai. So, but he quits his job and he goes to he gets on a plane to Louisiana, which he runs into this woman with a nose job,
Bobby Boucher,
who's nervous about flying.
He runs into Sookie.
She asks his name. He calls himself Nostradamus. And she's like, I love the Fighting Irish.
I recognized her from something.
She's done a lot of bit roles too. Yeah.
She's got that annoying voice.
Yeah. But he on the
Fram Drescher.
Yeah, not that bad.
On the flight, he falls asleep and has a dream where he becomes the old Uncle Remus of Song of the South and sings Zippity Doo Dah, complete with a animated bluebird, the attorney shining his shoes as he shines his head, and if you look in the background, the Underhills are there.
Yeah, that was something.
Yeah. Zippity doo dah, zippity. Anyway,
kids, this is where you'll please pause the podcast and go ahead and Google what Song of the South is, because Disney will not allow us to talk about it.
Disney wants us to forget it.
Yes.
In fact, they're just about to close Splash Mountain for the refurbishment.
So many people lost their heads on that thing that we can't talk about legally. Non-disclosure agreements.
So when the plane lands, he is greeted by his late aunt's attorney, Amanda Ray Ross. Just fun to say like that. And she takes him to the quote-unquote mansion, which is a nice big plantation that has not been taken care of at all. It's falling apart. He sees it. It is a dilapidated mess. And he meets there the caretaker, Calculus Entropy, played by Cleavon Little, where he introduces himself as Geometry Fletch. But he's happy to meet Fletch, and he helps him get around the place, and they kind of have a good rapport throughout the rest of the movie. He goes out with the attorney, finds out there is an anonymous bidder for his land for $225,000. Woo!
I was gonna say $22,000 is a steal.
And Fletch, being the smooth operator he is, they end up going back to her place where, while they were asleep, she was murdered.
She doesn't live.
No, she
No,
doesn't.
no.
Amanda dead.
No, Fletch lived. Amanda dead.
Like, so between the hours
Wait, I thought she was a woman.
between the hours of whatever to whatever, so like 5 or 6 hours, I don't think a normal body would have looked like that. Like, she had already turned like gray and like
And she was cold.
yeah, I mean,
What makes you wonder what Fletch was doing?
yeah, he was like, it was good, but not that good.
Man, not gonna lie, lady, but you were kind of dead fish last night.
I liked her. I
Yeah.
was kind of upset that she died.
The next morning, he wakes up. He's like, I can't believe we slept that long.
Yeah.
You want to go get breakfast? He checks her pulse. Guess not.
Yeah.
He finds her dead, and he is immediately a suspect in her murder and taken into custody. There he finds his good old friend Ben Dover, played by Randall Tex Cobb. Nothing. Nobody.
I'm just thinking Born in East LA.
I was gonna say he's an '80s character actor. He's like a quintessential '80s character actor.
I'm thinking of the jail scene from Born in East LA. It's like, I want your pants. Give me your pants. No.
Oh
no.
man, it's been so long since I've seen Born in East LA.
Oh my heavens.
Which
sorry.
did not make the top 25 movies of LA.
No, it did not. Yeah. When prepping this episode, because the last week we were talking about the top 25 lists where Fletch made number 23, I believe, in LA Times list. So I pulled it up and we were talking about it. And unfortunately, Born in East LA did not make the cut. Maybe when we cover the Tijuana top 25 movies in Tijuana, maybe that'll make a list along with the Mexican. And yeah, there you go.
So Fletch is saved from being raped by the lawyer Dover. No, that's Ben Dover. Wow. The lawyer Hamilton Ham Johnson. Yes.
In his white suit.
Yes.
Tempting, Hammy. Very tempting.
He manages to get Fletch released as well on a technicality. And
was his lawyer Johnny Cochran?
Pretty much. He's the white Southern Johnny Cochran. He's very, very slick.
White cake. We're going to have cigars and eat the
white cake.
I just watched that part of that movie the other night.
Just that part?
Yeah, it was literally the end of it, and I just wanted to see him say that, and I watched a little bit of it, and it's just such a good movie.
It's such a great movie.
Leo just loses his stuff, like that scene with his hands cut, and just, oh man, fantastic.
Would you like some white cake? But yeah, that's exactly what this guy seemed to me.
Yeah.
Mixed with Colonel Sanders.
Yes, especially at the end.
So he saved Colonel Sanders saved the Fletch from getting the chicken. Got it.
Later on, he is called by a realtor named Becky Culpepper, who says there's an even larger offer of $250,000 for his home at Belle Isle. And he starts getting harassed because he keeps declining these offers. First by the Ku Klux Klansman, which is another great one, Hank Himmler. Or he calls them Klukies.
No, we can't get new masks.
We're going back to Django.
Pretty much.
Yeah, I mean,
who made these holes?
I couldn't help but think of that scene when I watched this, but it was still a good scene in its own right. And he just like comes up and he's like
in the bed sheet.
Yeah, he introduces himself from where did he say he was
California
from?
chapter.
That's right, the California chapter. Oh, okay, hey. And then they all take their hoods off and they just kind of look at him, and then he kind of takes it halfway off. And then, and when he said we call him Klookies, the other guy laughed his ass off. Like, it was just a funny scene.
Yeah, they do the secret handshake and he hits them. It's like a California thing.
Yeah, California thing.
Jeez.
Klookies.
Oh, and then he also his mansion's burnt down by an arsonist.
Yep.
That the next night too, and finally Bendover tries to kill him during the raccoon hunt.
Man, in Mississippi or in Louisiana, the real estate market was rather hot then.
Oh man.
Yeah.
And when he was taken to the morgue, and you could just see the anguish on his face when he loses his Laker watch.
Yeah,
because he is the #1 Lakers fan when Bendover steals it. The coon hunt was funny. Not much happened. It's good to see like good old boys not doing the stereotype racist type activities, because they asked calculus to go with them. He's like, I ain't going on a coon hunt.
I don't think that they did. I think Fletch did, because he's like, you haven't lived unless you've been on a coon hunt, son, or a coon hunt, boy. And I think Fletch looked at calculus, and he's like, you going with? And he's like, no.
I guess I took that as like they didn't disclude him.
Oh, but they didn't flat out ask. And I don't think it was a racist thing at all.
Yeah.
No, I didn't take that at all. Otherwise, they would have been with the Ku Klux Klan people. But yeah, he's like, you want to go on? Are you joining? And he's like, no, I'm staying home.
It's like when they go to the diner and he orders the diet plate. He's like, everything have a head on it? It sure does, sugar.
I know. Gross. It came out with a full on
catfish
with its head and its whiskers. Wow.
Oof.
Oh, the whiskers are good in the tartar sauce.
Catfish.
I'll take your word for it, man.
I don't know. I don't think I like catfish. You can only eat it fried, right?
I mean, you can eat it blackened or grilled, but it doesn't taste good.
So you can only eat it fried.
I don't know about catfish. She said that she was 25 living in L.A.
Oh, here we go.
L.A.
Yeah, there you go.
During the coon hunt, Fletch discovers toxic waste all over the place, killing flowers and everything, thus adding to the story that he's already deciding that he's going to work on about the whole Belle Isle thing. He learns a local megachurch, the Farnsworth Ministries, is interested in buying Belle Isle, and he thinks that Jimmy Lee Farnsworth is the guy,
the bad guy.
Yeah, the guy harassing him.
Yes,
and he turns out to be a cool dude, even though he's a faith healer. Mm-hmm. And my God, the faith healing scenes in that movie are fan freaking tastic.
Better than Keeping the Faith.
Oh, I love. You mean Leap of Faith?
Yeah, thank you.
Keeping the Faith was a good movie too.
It was,
with Edward Norton and Ben Stiller.
Yes. Yeah. No, Leap of Faith is what I was talking about.
Yes, with Steve Martin. And Liam Neeson.
Oh yeah, man, his career is amazing.
Yeah,
it really is. Set of skills.
He does have special skills.
I don't have much money.
Did I say that?
I did. No, I did.
Oh,
I
okay.
stumbled.
Oh, okay. Taken.
I'll buy a big house where we both can live.
And live on Nasonex.
Okay, so pretty much every impression eventually either turns into Walken or
Antonio Banderas.
Antonio Banderas. I basically have
Antonio
2
Banderas.
And neither one of them are good. I'm sorry, guys. You get what you get.
It's all right.
During his investigation of Jimmy Lee Farnsworth, he finds out that Becky Culpepper is his daughter. Bum, bum, dum, dum.
Didn't see that coming.
Like a blind prostitute. Anyways, moving forward.
You saw that coming?
I thought she was actually going to be the lawyer's daughter.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah.
I liked her. She was fun.
Yeah, she was a little. I think because she was ditzy and kind of dingy, but like when they were doing this, you haven't gone to the stakeout part when they were staying.
Where she had to pee.
Just like, I gotta pay.
Fletch, I have to pay. Oh. And then this is just the quick version of it. He sends his Laker shoes to L.A. to get toxicity reports, and finds out that it's this company, which he goes to investigate about the toxic waste spilling from Phil Hartman.
Oh, I love Phil Hartman.
It takes a large man, it takes a big man to admit when he's wrong, and I am not a big man. And then it shows that Ham was the one that ordered the toxic waste, thus making it unlivable in the area, thus making it him being the main antagonist trying to take Belial from him. I always want to say Belial, like it's a demon.
I was slipping and saying bile, so.
Belial. Before we get to the costume party, I want to go over the bar scene. The bar scene is great, where he plays Ed Harley, the son of the owner of Harley Davidson motorcycles. I was going to go over this on an Easter egg, but this is a good time to bring it up. That bar is the exact same bar they shot the bar scene in Pee-wee's Big Adventure.
I could tell.
I was going to go
like
Roadhouse, but that was...
No, it is not. It's not the Double Deuce.
It looked like it. It had the whole the vibe and everything. There's the people in there.
In fact, I thought it was just the vibe that made it like that. But it's the same. It's the same bar that they shot it in.
One of these days, we need to come up with like a show where just the best bar scenes of all time, because I think we could have some fun with that.
Just Cocktail.
Coyote
like
Ugly.
Sonic.
Oh yeah, that scene in Sonic was
good,
great.
Yeah. More
you
recent.
Come up with at least 10.
Coyote Ugly. We went over that. You have.
Let's do it now. What's our top 10 bar scenes?
Seriously.
So we came up with 2, right? Coyote Ugly.
Okay.
Sonic.
Pee-wee.
Pee-wee.
Of course.
Pee-wee. Fletch Lives.
Sure. Let's go
Cocktail.
with Cocktail.
Many scenes in Cocktail.
Yeah.
I'm going to include Basketball.
Oh. Yes.
Yeah, Basketball. Let's go ahead and continue on to bars.
Dirty Work.
Yes.
Street Fighting Man.
Yes, thank you.
G8 or no G7.
You typed in A6 or whatever.
You hit G8. Nothing like a bar brawl to the Pina Colada song.
As they're awkwardly swaying to the music.
Oh, rest in peace, Norm Macdonald.
Let's see. You know what? I'm going to go with Hail Caesar as another bar scene.
Don't like that movie, so I don't even remember it.
Not a dame. It's the Channing
the Tanning Chatham.
Yeah.
You can do it. What's his name?
I don't want to. He's a Tampa alum, but
I know. He's listening.
Oh, I want to Channing all over your
Channing
Tatum.
Tatum.
Channing Tatum. Channing.
Yeah.
He was in 21 Jump Street.
Okay.
Think of any more bar scenes.
Let's take a look. Let's see. Let's go with Bad Boys. That was also a bar.
Where they had the fight in the bathroom.
No. Well, I'm just coming up with random where there's a bar.
It has to be like a good scene, though, not just
good.
somebody,
Just a good
going
bar
like
scene.
this on the bar.
Back to the Future 3.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Jeez, the greatest Back to the Future ever, according to Roman. Yeah.
Oh, man. Oh, wasn't there kind of a bar scene in Once Upon a Time in Hollywood? Was the Timothy Oliphant?
Yeah, we can include that, sure. And that'll take us to 10.
Yeah, now we're kind of going
Star Wars.
Oh
my God, yes. Jeez.
Okay, well, we came up with 10. All right.
Star Trek 3.
Yeah. Anyways.
Genesis.
But
okay, so the bar scene in Fletch Lives,
which
made the cut, was great. He was dancing like a dork with the. Oh God!
Oh, Fanboys. Oh, that's another good bar scene.
I don't remember the bar scene in Fanboys.
Don't make fun of Menudo.
I don't remember that.
Oh my heavens! Anyways, yeah. Continue on. Yeah. So we're talking about Fletch Lives, the bar scene, and
he orders like a Diet Coke, right?
Yeah. He's like, do you think you're in the right place?
Yeah.
And he goes, I think so.
Yeah. And then when he found out who he was, he's like, oh, you own Harley. Get this man a real drink.
He's like, and they find, and she gets caught, and he's like, can she ride with me? Feeling a little horny, Ed. And even when he gets discovered, he's cool as a cucumber.
Yeah.
He's like, your mustache is kind of funny. He's like, oh, look at that, it fell off, and he goes.
Yeah.
That was great.
Okay, you know what? I need some new dad jokes, so let's go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
Now, when we fought, you had that eye of the tiger, man, the edge.
Hey everybody, my name is Adam and I am part of the Cinemadness podcast. I'm here to tell you about some exciting news. We're making a movie. As I've mentioned on the show numerous times, I am obsessed with the films of 1982, and I want to share my love of those years with all of you. So we are taking a deep dive into 75 movies, all from 1982, to show that this was an important year, or maybe the most important year in pop culture cinema. Movies like Blade Runner, The Thing, E.T., Poltergeist, Fast Times at Ridgemont High, and many, many more. Interviewing cast and crew from these movies, as well as fans and also film experts. We are currently crowdfunding for equipment and logistics while in development, and when we are ready for pre-production, we will get all of you involved too. That means names in the credits, special goodies, perhaps posters and art. So, if you are as excited about this as we are, and really, why shouldn't you be? Check out our campaign at cinemadnesspodcast.com/1982themovie. We are also on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at 1982themovie. So come along with us and let's celebrate cinema.
As the movie goes, he goes to Ham's costume party, which is it's a stereotyped, just racist mess of a place.
It's just like a Civil War reenactment, but they're not out in the field.
Right, they're just having the party part.
Yeah.
It's also a fundraiser. Ham admits that he polluted Belle Isle out of revenge for the way he feels Farnsworth took advantage of his mother because he couldn't heal her when she was dying. And that's the whole thing about that. Farnsworth persuaded her in her confused mental state to give away her valuable land, on which the church then built a profitable amusement park, Bible Land, which was all shot in the Universal Hollywood tour. Noah's Flood, that was all the flooding areas on the tour. Yeah. He then Ham then intended to devalue the land owned by Farnsworth Ministries, and he was also the one that killed the girl, the lady Ross. Can't think of her name. Becky Lee.
Yeah, the lady in the bean, the realtor.
Yes. No. The lawyer.
Glengarry Glen Ross.
Yes, Glengarry Glen Ross. Yeah.
Yes, the lawyer.
Does he have a name, or should I call
Betty
him
Ross?
Lawyer?
Betty Ross.
Betty Ross. Becky is captured by Bendover and brought to Ham's mansion when Fletch thinks he has
This just
the other
sounds like a
hand.
porno plot at this point.
Well, it's not his real name, but that's just what he says.
Yeah.
Becky takes Bendover and goes to Ham. All right, guys, it's going to be an awesome scene. Really hot. Okay, so what we're going to do here is, Bendy, I need you to go grab Betty, and then you and Ham have some hotness. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Let's go ahead and make a scene. Let's make a picture. Come on, let's go.
You know, your porn director is much better than your Quentin Tarantino.
Hey, man, it's going to be awesome, fantastic, great, absolutely great.
Feet everywhere.
Everywhere. It just everywhere. Black light in it. It's going to be great, fantastic, great.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Horrible, absolutely horrible. I'll just slip to walking within 3, 2. Oh no.
Yeah, Bendover is like Dr. Jellyfingers. He just didn't have a name, and when he was in the cell, he's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "Bendover."
Right.
He's like, "Nice to meet you, Ben."
Right.
Take your pants off.
You want to buy me dinner first?
So that happened.
We're talking about sodomy, Chad, here in Cinemadness podcast. Sodomy all the time, every time.
Fletch does some great ribbing of Ham's mother to make him angry as a distraction. He breaks the photo. He spills her ashes on the seat.
On a mustache.
Yep.
Oof.
And that creates big enough diversion for him and Becky to escape. They flee to the Farnsworth Ministry Church, interrupting a televised service in progress. Ham follows them with a gun in his hand, a real working in the party. He aims his gun. Fletch is like, "Mine's made out of rubber. How about yours?"
He's all sweaty too, and he's walking down.
Yeah.
the aisle.
And then he is shot by Calculus, who turns out to be an FBI agent.
Dun, dun,
Dun,
dun.
dun, dun.
And his real name is Agent Goldstein.
Yes.
And he was working undercover.
With the monkey.
Him and the monkey, yeah. And that's how...
Mickey Dolenz?
Yes, the monkey.
The monkey was an
the
agent.
remaining monkey.
Oh.
Wasn't Davy still alive? Davy Jones?
Now?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So there's not 2 remaining monkeys.
Yeah.
I tried to take Davy Jones one time to Busch Gardens, but he couldn't make it on any of the rides
Wait, no, maybe he is dead.
because he's too short.
I'll look it up.
Cocktails?
No.
Too
Anyways,
short.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm surprised. Too short? Cocktails?
Yeah, there you go.
No. Do you?
What?
Do you?
Do you know who Too Short is?
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
I only know that from the box.
Boy. Wait, the movie with Cameron Diaz?
No.
That randomly is set in 1977, but they never justify why
God, that movie
specifically
was horrible.
1977. It was an interesting idea.
Yeah, well, it was...
Dooku in it.
It was a Tales from the Crypt episode.
Yeah, it was Needful Things.
I like that you didn't call him Christopher Lee. You called him Count Dooku.
That's because I can never remember his name.
It was
I know
interesting.
him as Dooku.
It was interesting.
And Saruman.
Nope,
but
just
we're-
Dooku.
And Dracula.
But we left with Calculus, who's now Detective Goldstein.
I'm looking at
with
the
the
monkeys.
monkey.
The monkey.
We named the monkey Jock.
And then he returns to Los Angeles with Becky. Fletch is thrown a welcome home party by his coworkers and receives a $100,000 insurance claim check for the mansion. And his ex-wife's attorney, Gillette, demands that he gives her the land. And if he does,
funny.
he will never have to see either of them ever again, and the case would be settled. So he signs over the now worthless land to his ex-wife.
Yep.
And that's how we leave Fletch Lives.
That was funny. He like wrote it on his head, and he's looking up, and he's like, "You're breaking me. Now I have nothing left. This is my family land." And then he just like looks at the camera and just like smiles.
And he's just like,
"Yeah, it's great."
yeah, it's a great way to end a movie, especially a comedy like that. I love movies that end on a high note and with a freeze frame.
Yeah, both of them just ended like that.
Yeah. So that was a quick overview of Fletch Lives.
This just in though, Mickey Dolenz died. I'm sorry, Mike Nesmith died.
Yeah.
Mickey Dolenz is the only surviving monkey.
Davy Jones is dead?
Apparently, let me see. Hold on.
Okay.
Davy Jones died 2012.
Wow.
Oof.
Yeah, so the only monkey.
Man.
So Fletch's aliases throughout this movie: Billie Jean King,
Oh yeah, I remember that one. I laughed so hard.
Nostradamus, Geometry Fletch, Ed Harley, Claude Henry Smoot.
Wait, go ahead.
This one is one of my favorites. Peter Lemongello,
Yes.
Victor Hugo, Elmer Fudd Gentry, Elmer Fudd Gentry, Peggy Lee Zorba, Henry Himmler, Bobby Lee Schwartz, and Eldridge Cleaver.
I don't remember that one.
Eldridge Cleaver was I can't remember where it was. Man, I don't know this movie as well as I thought.
So the
I
Billie
did.
Jean King one
Yes.
was in one of my favorite scenes because that's when he went to
But the Bugbuster scene?
yeah, so he put the Bugbuster sign on and he was in there with the fake teeth and the guy came in, he's like, "Billie Jean King, Bugbusters," and he's like talking about these little termites, and then he's like, "I don't think you're supposed to be here," and he found one and got it like really close to his ear and acted like it fell in his ear, and he's like, "Oh, you
Like the Wrath of Khan?
yeah, I don't know." And you got to get out of your ear. It's gonna lay eggs. And he's like, "Get down to the floor." They like the floor, and he's having him like squeal like a pig. I'm like, are you kidding me? These people are so stupid in these movies.
And I love that he kept like reaching for his ear and he kept slapping his hand out.
Yeah, it was so
It's like,
funny.
don't stop doing that. Billy, and it's just as fast as Billie Jean King, Bugbusters. Nostradamus, Geometry Fletch, Ed Harley, Claude Henry Smoot. Well, he was the guest healer.
Yeah, but Smoot he used in the other one.
No, Poon.
Oh, Poon. That's right. That's right.
So one of my criticisms in the first one was there wasn't really a good pushback or
ensemble.
There wasn't a lot of good chemistry comedically, like in other Chevy Chase films. Whereas I do feel that in Fletch Lives, there's a little bit more chemistry with that. There was a little bit more playing, but
I agree.
It was also a little bit more stupid Homer Simpson.
Correct.
Where it's almost like everyone in the cast, for the most part, was mentally handicapped.
Yeah, correct. And I think they did that on purpose because they were given that persona of we're just dumb hicks from the small town in Louisiana. Because everybody just fell for all of his stuff. Like the bug guy. I mean, come on, dude. Like, seriously, you're going to get down and squeal like a pig. Come on. But they all did that because they all fell for Bible land crap. Like, they all fell for all these healing stuff. So
they had guest healers on.
Yeah.
Okay.
A little fact: Belle Isle is actually a real plantation. It was built in 1810.
Oh boy!
And they used it in the movie. It's a real place. The music was once again composed by German composer Harold Faltermeyer.
And that same song.
Yep, not Liesberger.
In his yurt.
Yes, in his yurt. The critical reception, the movie was not well received by critics. It currently stands on Rotten Tomatoes with a 37% critic score and a 54% audience score.
This is my shock face.
Roger Ebert gave it a 1.5 stars, stating some of the lines were funny, but mostly you just wanted to smack him. Kind of like what he said in the first one. Personally, when I saw it, I was about 9 or 10. I didn't care for it. It didn't feel as slick and well paced like the first movie. As I got older, though, I started to realize how this movie plays out. It is a bit sloppier than the original Fletch, but I like the plot more. I like the story more. The whole idea of it and how it twists and turns. I love his interactions with Arlie Ermey and Cleavon Little. I think they worked really well together. I find myself watching this one more than I watched the original. And even though he became an established actor by 1989, Chevy Chase never felt like he wasn't acting at his best. His timing was still great in this one. And you know, it doesn't hurt with it being his favorite character. So I'm really glad I went back and watched this again for this episode, because I was kind of like, okay, yeah, I watch Fletch Lives every so I'll put it on in the background and not really pay attention to it. And this time I watch it and I'm like, I like this one a lot more. And I think it's because of the story. I really like the idea of more than one direction that the story goes. It goes in like 3 different directions and you don't know where it's coming from. And nobody is a good person in this movie except for Fletch and what's her face? Ross. Not Ross. Not the dead one, the living one. I can't think of her name.
Sally. No.
No, that was the first one.
No.
That was the first
Betty.
one.
They're all hillbilly names. Well, Calculus is a good guy.
Oh, yeah. That's right. Yeah. But even Farnsworth, what he did, Ham's mother.
Yeah.
And the land. I mean, he's still a money-grubbing televangelist.
Yeah. He's still a fraud.
But he's still a good guy.
Correct.
I might be a slime ball, but I'm a decent
He's like a gemstone.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Well, they're not good either, but, you know, to an extent.
Do it, maniac kid!
What did you think, Allison? This is your first time watching it.
I mean, I kind of agree with mostly everything you said. I like the story because I didn't know. Like, I thought Ham was a good guy. I thought the Farnsworth guy... Farnsworth? Okay. Farnsworth guy was the guy. Like, that's what they wanted you to do and then redirect you. So I get what you're saying. But I also agree that it was a little bit messier than the first one. It wasn't... There was a lot of stuff that was just like... Again, with the whole... Not literal slapstick, but the humor that is just too much for me. There was a little bit more of that peppered in there where I'm like, okay, that's enough.
It was more of a comedy.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I still liked it. I mean, they're both 2 separate movies.
And I love the movie poster, the original movie poster, because it's a parody of the Gone with the Wind poster.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This one reminded me of a Groucho Marx film without Groucho Marx.
Kind of like how the first one was a Peter Sellers movie.
Exactly. where it's basically, if you think about Duck Soup, Fletch Lives and Duck Soup have the same kind of feeling in terms of the absurdity of the plot, the absurdity of the characters who buy into the absurdity of the plot, if you will, and then the quick rhythm of the humor, like with Groucho. When the Marx Brothers do their humor, it's very quick, fast paced, and it's very fast paced, and that's what, when I reflect on Fletch Lives, it really does bring me to that conclusion, and it's Groucho. Marx Brothers films are very good because they're memorable for multiple reasons, and I think one of the reasons is they are the first to do that type of thing on film. Granted, there's just stealing vaudevillian acts for years with that type of fast-paced, quick-witted humor, and very tight humor, how it's conducted. But with Fletch Lives, it takes that, and it's kind of an homage to it, but it's just not the best of it. And I think that's how I remember it. I mean, I personally think I like Fletch Lives a little bit better than Fletch, because it has more of an identity where it's a stupid comedy, and it almost makes no excuses for it, whereas Fletch seems like it's in between, where it wants to be stupid comedy or does it want to be a
mystery movie.
Does it want to be Beverly Hills Cop? Which it almost strive to be that way, Fletch, speaking of, but it wasn't as intelligent as Beverly Hills Cop.
Well, and that's the funny thing about Fletch. It came out at the same time as all these serious / comedies came out. You have Beverly Hills Cop. You have 48 Hours. Yeah. Right, exactly. You have Fletch. It's almost its own genre at that point. But yeah, I see what you're saying about Fletch Lives, and I agree. I actually find this movie more a cohesive movie, better than the original Fletch, and I love the original Fletch. We all just found that out. Do you think it works as a standalone film, or do you think there isn't enough backstory, like for the in jokes and stuff?
No. You could watch this one. It's just like watching a Pink Panthers film, where you don't have to see the first couple of Pink Panthers films to understand what's going on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Allison?
I think you could watch this separate, because again, you don't talk about anything that happened in the first movie. You don't bring up his ex-wife. You don't bring up the girl that he went to Rio with, or what, Rio?
Yeah, his ex-wife's brought up.
What
but
you
don't.
Rio?
You don't say.
And so's the
anything.
Underhills.
Yeah, but that's.
It's nothing that I would have been like, wait a minute, like, who are these people? Like, you still didn't. You didn't tell me, why they're not together, why he owes her all this out. I don't know. There's nothing that I could have watched either of them in any order. I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I agree. I think it's a fine standalone movie. I would recommend watching them both, because they're good movies to me. But I think if you're going to watch one, just watch one. You don't have to worry about the Fletch cinematic universe.
Right. You can watch them in any order. I agree.
These movies are loved by everyone. Metaphorically
Except
saying,
for Roman.
No kidding. It's like, okay, great.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, in an average, they've become a cult following. And why do you think these movies have such a cult following?
I didn't know they did.
Pass.
Okay,
No,
that was
I'm
my
not
only question.
No, me.
I'm not passing.
Me.
I didn't know they did.
Yeah.
But I think there's a lot of movies that I hear have cult followings that I
Yeah.
either haven't seen or I don't understand why.
Like Three Amigos.
So,
has cult following.
oh, he's in that movie too, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
He's Dusty Bottom.
I just think that a lot of movies have a cult following that are with him because, like you said, people like his characters and they like his quick-witted humor, I guess.
Yeah. His dry, smart-ass humor.
Yeah, I mean, he was kind of like a sleazy, sexist. I mean,
Bob Saget.
Bob Saget. Like, yes, you can say he was a good guy because he didn't do anything wrong and he wanted to out the bad guys, but he's still like a kind of like a sleazeball.
Oh, absolutely.
He's kind of a womanizer.
Well, he's still in the 80s, so.
Yeah. So maybe that's one of the
The 80s
reasons.
where it was okay to be a womanizer.
Yeah.
No, it was not okay.
Maybe that's why. I don't know.
It was accepted, but it's not okay. And I don't like that it was accepted either, so.
Maybe he just, I don't know. Maybe because they want to be like that, where he can be different people and jet around and...
So, James Bond.
Wow.
Yeah, he's the Peter Sellers James Bond.
I don't know. Why is there a
Casino
cult
Royale.
Why is there a cult following?
I don't know. That's what I was asking. I was asking,
well,
why
what
do
do
you think it has
I
a
don't
cult
know.
following?
That's a good question.
Because there's a niche market that it taps into, and that's usually the lifeblood of any cult following. Is there's a niche. Cult followings, cult following to Rocky Horror Picture Show. There's a niche. Cult following to, there goes my momentum. There you go. Bye, momentum. I hope that you're having fun. Friday, John Singleton's Friday. Cult following, although I think that's a bad example because that's a well received.
Yeah, is there really cult following for Friday? I mean, everybody can say they liked Friday. I mean, is it a cult following because people quote it? Is that what you're saying?
I'm stretching right now.
Okay, 'cause, I mean, I totally get Rocky Horror because that's just the singing and the costumes and they perform stuff.
Cult following for So I Married an Axe Murderer.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Cult following for
Big Trouble in Little China.
Big Trouble in Little
Buckaroo
China.
Banzai.
Buckaroo and Banzai, yeah.
Wacky, off-the-wall movies that don't really connect with the mainstream audience.
Here's the thing: cult followings do lead into bigger things. The Thing, for example.
Yeah.
1982, by the way. I don't know if you heard of it. I got a good friend of mine who's making a documentary. You should check it out.
Yeah.
You should check out his stuff. But anyways, listen to the commercials. They're awesome. Yeah, you like how I did that? That's very pro. You're welcome.
Is it?
And you just ruined it.
Oh. Yeah, I'm the type of lover that I'm going to talk about how awesome I am during and after. Thank you, folks.
I bet you the same people who like Fletch like Point Break.
Oh, my.
I think you broke Roman.
Is that all it took?
Boy.
See, instead of turning it into a high-pitched whatever you did, you could have come back with, the remake.
Ooh, that would have hurt. Same people who like Fletch like Grease 2. That's got a cult following.
You know, it does have a cult following.
It does.
Of one person.
Yeah.
I know it does. And that just proves a lot of shitty movies have cult followings.
That's usually how it happens, though.
Yeah. I mean, Toxic Avenger, for Pete's sake.
It's such a good movie,
Killer
though.
Tomatoes.
Return of the Killer Tomatoes was
I liked cartoon in the 90s. Thank you.
It was can't think of his name now.
I'll pull up a copy.
ER.
Noah Wiley, George Clooney.
George Clooney's first role.
Oh yeah.
Return of the
I
Killer
thought it was
Tomatoes.
Facts of Life.
Movie role.
All right.
I like how I said Noah Wiley first.
Yeah.
And I don't really know the answer. I don't.
Why is it cult following?
Why do you think these movies have a cult following? Was the question.
It's like, why do you like crappy Mexican restaurants?
But if you want to talk about cult status, you can't get any cultier than Bruce Campbell.
Yeah. So why isn't Bruce Campbell in any of the Fletch movies? It seems like right up his alley.
It does.
It does.
He has nothing to do with these. He's not even listed in anything.
No kidding.
I was trying to make it sound like he had something to do, and he didn't.
He could have been Fletch.
I don't think so. He's too smarmy for Sweat. Sweat?
Too smarmy?
Smarmy.
Smarmy.
Mm-hmm. Smarmy.
I don't know what smarmy is.
Like
smartassy? Because that's kind of what Fletch is.
Whoa.
No, he's more. He's kind of junkier.
Well, maybe we can do an episode about the appeal of Bruce Campbell.
I don't want to.
No?
We're talking about it right now.
Well, no.
Junky?
What?
Like a knockoff?
Trashy, that's the word.
You think he's trashy?
Oh, absolutely. Especially from the show.
Bruce Campbell?
Yeah.
But I'm not talking about him
He's not a slick guy at all.
His character or him as a person?
I guess I'm just
I'm saying visually. He's trashy looking.
Oh, I don't think he is at all.
Really?
No.
Especially when he was younger.
Especially when he was Ash.
Okay.
Yeah, when he was younger, he had
He's
good
way
looks.
hotter than Chevy Chase.
Not Ash vs. Evil Dead Ash, but Evil Dead
Evil
Ash.
Dead. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, I mean, even when he was Briscoe.
I love Briscoe County Jr.
Yeah, he was good in that. He had a
Yeah, Chevy Chase is not good looking.
And what was the swashbuckler show he had?
oh jeez.
Swashbuckler.
Jack of all trades. That was
Yeah.
it. He was a pirate.
He was basically
Swashbuckler.
Errol Flynn.
Yeah,
Errol Flynn.
Errol Flynn.
Errol Flynn. Which man, if he
And he was Aeolus in Xena and Hercules. He was great.
man, he's done some awesome things.
Yeah, he has.
Yeah, we could dive into that, but that's another time nor day because he's not in Fletch Lives.
I was just saying he could be Fletch.
And he even played Elvis.
Oh, it's a bag of sand.
I love that movie so much.
I do. Bubba Hotep, great.
Bubba Hotep is amazing.
Wonderful.
Directed by Don Coscarelli, who did the Phantasm movies. And John dies at the end.
Thank you for giving away the ending.
And
now,
Beastmaster. Made in 1982.
Anyways, okay, yeah, you know what?
So my question is...
So much water because you keep on putting a plug in it.
We don't have the answer to your question, apparently.
I don't have the answer either.
I'm giving you gold here, Rumpelstiltskin. I'm spinning it.
It was a good
Da,
discussion.
da, 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 da. I'm spinning it.
Oh boy.
Oh.
Right round, baby, right round, like a record, baby, right round, right round.
There goes Talk singing again.
Yeah, pretty much.
Singing.
Well, although I went pretty much sling blade on that.
Fried potatoes.
Don't like right round, right round.
So that's what I have for Fletch Lives.
All
And
right.
We just kind of just
Good
trailed
night,
off into cult movies and
Good
Bruce
night, folks.
Campbell.
Oh yeah.
Thank you for letting me do this on the Fletch movies. I'm glad I got to give Alison some new movies to watch, and she didn't hate them.
I didn't hate him. I mean, I'm not going to watch him again anytime
Right.
soon, but at least I can say I've seen him.
Right. I'm not used to showing you stuff and you not hating them, so it's exciting for me. And I'm just disappointed in Roman, that's all. But so nothing's changed.
It's day ending with Y, folks.
I'm not disappointed. He can like whatever he likes.
Yeah.
But I'm surprised because it's the
surprising.
same type of humor he does in real life.
Maybe he's just jealous.
Oh.
Perhaps. I personally think I'm a nicer guy. Personally.
Well, you are a nice guy, but
Yeah.
Fletch is nice.
You
but
know who doesn't say that they're nice guys?
Nice guys?
Nice guys.
Well, fuck me. Damn it. Damn it.
I'm just kidding, Roman. You're
Looks
a nice
like the
guy.
gig's up. He finally found me. I don't know how, but he finally found
I mean,
me.
look, he does voices, he does dad jokes. Fletch doesn't do dad jokes.
Whoa,
but
I like how you have him like on like a dating site. Look, he does voices. He's a nice guy.
This will be
Who will be the first to bid for
everlasting
Roman?
love for me.
So when we do our Cinemadness auction, Roman's going to be the big prize.
Oh boy.
no,
Oh,
maybe if he keeps his mouth shut.
You know,
So he's going to be the big prize.
most women have said that about me personally. Given situations. But anyways, that's neither here nor there.
So what are your final takes on Fletch Lives and Fletch as a series? I'll ask whoever wants to go first.
Roman's ready.
Okay, it's ripe for someone else to do something.
Like John Hamm.
Yeah, John Hamm. When you said on the first episode that we did last week about how Kevin Smith wanted to do it with My Name Is Earl,
Jason Lee.
him too. That just really tickled my pickle in terms of how it could have been something very, very awesome.
Yeah, 90s Jason Lee would have been perfect as a new Fletch.
Outstandingly awesome, phenomenally awesome. But in terms of what the film is, it's good pockets, it's good skits, but in terms of a whole, it's unmemorable. They're C-worthy films in my opinion that are good for popcorn flicks.
Like Crimson Tide. That movie's seaworthy.
Yeah, it is seaworthy. I was waiting for that. You know, there's not a seaman that Adam doesn't love.
It's true.
Nope.
All walks of life.
All of the boat movies and water movies, and you picked that one.
Because it was a popcorn flick, because he said popcorn flick.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a popcorn flick?
Yeah, it's Jerry Bruckheimer, so it's got kind of action-y.
You couldn't go with, I don't know, Battleship? That's a popcorn flick.
I can't recommend something I never saw.
I never saw that.
No?
Pirates are popcorn flicks, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I guess so.
Wait, which Pirates movie? Because you don't want to get certain stuff in your popcorn.
All of the Pirates movies are popcorn.
Pirates of the Caribbean.
The Disney safe ones.
Oh, yeah. That's
the Johnny Depp one.
Cutthroat Island. That's another.
Oh,
That's a Gina Davis.
Yeah.
That's a Gina Davis.
She's got Gina Davis.
And her husband.
Eyes. No.
Yes. What is that guy's name? It starts with an R.
Rennie Harlan.
There you go. It's a stupid name.
He directed the Nightmare on Elm Street Part 4. That was his first American directing job, and after that, he got Die Hard 2, and then
that one.
Cutthroat Island.
Didn't he do Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's a good director.
Didn't he also do another Gina Davis film, like Kiss Goodnight, I think?
The Long Kiss Goodnight with
Long
Samuel
Kiss
L.
Goodnight.
Jackson.
I think, yeah.
That was great.
Yeah,
film.
that actually was...
That was what Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was Shane Black.
Kiss Kiss Bang Bang was Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah.
I thought he directed that.
No, Shane Black directed that.
And he also wrote it.
Yeah, which is why it looks and sounds just like Iron Man 3.
You're correct.
And The Good Guys.
Yes, you're correct. Which, on a side
and
note...
Lethal Weapon. He wrote all the Lethal Weapon movies.
On a side note, I'm looking forward to the day when we can cover Predator series, just so we can talk about the end of the Predator film where they have the cast looking in the camera happy, you know?
Like a sitcom ending?
Yeah, the sitcom, I die in the second act.
That's the only thing I don't forgive Shane Black for is the Predator.
How many Predator movies are there?
Officially, like 5, I think.
There's Predator, Predator 2, Predators, the Predator. Then there's the 2 AVP movies, and then we have Prey coming out this year.
I'm out. No, I'm not doing 5 episodes of Predator.
Well, we'll give him the Tom Cruise treatment where we'll go for Predator in the 80s, we'll go Predator in the 90s, and then we'll go Predator in the 2000s.
So one episode will be Predator, and one will be Predator 2.
Yep.
And then the other 5...
Come on, Adrian Brody was awesome.
He was not. He was awful in that movie.
That's the only movie
he
I
was
saw.
so ripped.
He wanted to be Batman, though. He's like, I'm Adrian Brody. It was so backwards. The wimpy guy was the hero, and Danny Trejo died crying.
I don't remember.
Well, he didn't die crying.
He was crying.
No, he was. Help me.
He was sitting there crying.
Help me.
Oh, it was a terrible movie. It was a terrible movie. The Predator dogs.
Tune in for the Predators.
No.
You know how I say there's no such thing as a bad movie? Well, I mean, there's still some good stuff in that. I can't really say that, but
choose yours.
It's my least favorite of all the Predator movies.
Come on,
Lawrence
man.
Fishburne.
Lawrence Fishburne.
Are you done with your Fletch comments?
Yeah, someone needs to talk.
Please go ahead. I'm sorry.
What are your final thoughts on the Fletch?
No, now I'm all upset about possibly having to do the Predator movies. God, we should have like 4 or 5 or 6 or 10 or 12 times where we can tap out and tap somebody else in for an episode.
I thought we were supposed to have like 3 vetoes.
When did we get a chance to veto Fletch? No, I'm kidding.
3 vetoes. We need 30.
How about AD veto?
What? ADD?
A DeVito?
Oh, A DeVito. Like Danny?
Yeah, exactly. The Bear, great movie.
I think overall the movies are funny. They're quintessential 80s movies.
Mm-hmm.
They were overall good. I mean, I don't like calling things popcorn movies. I thought it was good. They weren't too long. They were both completely different. I'm surprised there weren't more. Actually, I think if there were more, it might have gotten too much. Like, because remember when you first said this, I was like, how many are there? Because I immediately thought there was like 4 or 5. And then you're like, there's 2. And I'm like, oh, okay, that's weird. I wonder why they didn't greenlight a third one. Well, now I know. I understand why. But yeah, I mean, I thought they were funny. I thought Chevy Chase was funny, and it wasn't at all what I had gone in expecting. It wasn't this like over the top cheesy airplane stuff that I don't like. So I liked it.
So what do we have going on, guys?
Well, we are still continuing our real thoughts.
Okay, so we have this new thing going on where us and like some of our other contributors do real stories from the aisles, right?
Yes.
And it's just individual, just audio episodes of a movie and our memories of the movie.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be fun. That'll be on all where our podcast is on, right?
Yes. Apparently that's where you're going to hear Roman talk about 80 Predator films.
That's great. Be sure to tune into that. And then we have our our YouTube stuff. Sometimes we put up some Zoom stuff. We have June Hughes for 4 more John Hughes movies. That's really hard to say. That'll start in June.
It's a
June Hughes
series.
This is the second year I'm doing it, too.
Yes.
June Hughes 2022.
You're almost out of Hughes movies. Can you do it one more year?
I can do it one more year.
All right.
Yeah. Especially if I do just stuff he wrote.
That's true, like Curly Sue.
He directed Curly Sue.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
She's having a baby. Nope, he directed that, too.
Ooh, maybe I can't get a 4th year out of it.
Oh, you forgot about She's Having a Baby?
I forgot that he directed She's Having a Baby.
I think he did direct it.
I don't know. I have to look that up.
Yeah. What else do we got going on?
This.
Yeah.
We got more episodes of these coming.
Yeah. We are ramping up. And, of course, as you guys heard in the commercial, the 1982 film, which we are a part of. So please check that out. We are looking forward to continue to grow on that idea.
Yes, grow.
Yes, so go to our YouTube page, Cinemadness Podcast, and subscribe. And you can find us on Twitter, Cinemadness P, Instagram, Cinemadness Podcast, and Facebook, Cinemadness Podcast.
Oh, I gotta say on a side note, my pops called me up, which is a rarity. He called me up and he goes, "Hey, boy, I was on the YouTube and I saw your the movie crap that you do."
The crap that you do.
Such a supportive guy.
That's actually a compliment from my father. And I go, "Yeah, Pops, did you click on it? Did you hit the like button?" And he goes, "Nah, I saw it though." Thanks, Pops.
That's a step.
He needs to subscribe.
This is a guy that I literally had to give him a step-by-step way to do the command of Control 2 to double space a report. Okay? Yeah, no, he actually woke me up at 4 o'clock in the morning. He goes, "Hey, boy, how do you do the double space thing?" I literally had 3 sticky notes on the CPU at the time. And I go,
CPU?
Yes.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I completely dated myself.
That's okay. My mom calls it cinnamon pod. She can't say it very well. Cinnamon podcast.
Well,
that's okay. There's a Twitch streamer that I watch, and she calls it Cinemadness.
Cinemadness.
Like sinus infection.
Yeah.
Yes.
Is she from another country? Oh.
No, she's from California.
But why?
Love you, California.
CINE. I mean, you just see it. You're like, sign.
No.
Okay.
Well.
Welcome to Cinemadness,
yeah,
where we're going to be talking about nasal
okay.
infections today. It's
we like signs. We're mad about signs.
Yes, Ace of Base all the way.
Crazy.
Crazy about signs.
Oh, boy.
Just one Shyamalan movie that we talk about for years to come.
That's all we talk about. And we play Signs by Tesla in the background.
Boy. I'm assuming 99% of this will not make it, so I'm just ripping and riffing.
Well, on that note, thanks for joining us.
Speaking of signing.
Thank you for signing on.
Oh.
Still got it, kids. Still got it.
Yeah, there's still a little nugget of humor left in there.
Yep.
And with that, I want to thank you, Roman, for being here. I want to thank Alison for being here.
Gracias.
Thank you for having us.
Tune in next time when we have another movie to talk about. And that's it.
Yes, it will be Allison's turn to choose the format.
Ooh. All right. Well, when we find out what that is, you'll find out at the exact same time. So we will see you later. And remember to keep celebrating cinema.
Sound
like a chicken. Like Camilla.
Like Camilla.